I'm on Mill Street, which is a short ways away from the waterfalls at Bridge Street in Hillsborough. So on this street, I saw an area with abandoned buildings, and that is a big part of mind control, and where they force people into homelessness. And once they are homeless, they are easy to attack and abduct on the street. Almost as soon as I get there, there are people across the river, and it sounds like they're yelling profanity, and they are very upset that I'm there video recording their little area. So the town of Hillsborough has surrounded the whole area with a fence, but part of the fence is falling down, which can allow anybody to enter that area. There is a concrete foundation along the side of the river. I guess you call that a levee. I don't know if it was a foundation for some of their buildings that were using the water as power, but there is this long levee and what looks like a foundation to maybe a bridge right on the water. Walking along the fence, I see a brand new mattress. It looks like it's in very good condition to be laying on the side of the road. There are a few bags of wood pellets that are used for wood pellet stoves, and there are a few empty bags shoved inside another bag, and they're lying on the exterior side of the fence. Then there is a pillow. Also looks in pretty good shape. It looks like it's new, but it's laying on the other side of the fence. So maybe somebody who had been renting an apartment in the nearby area, maybe they were made homeless and they brought their mattress down to this abandoned building district so that they could have something to sleep on. There are people across the river, and it sounds like they're yelling profanity, and they are very upset that I'm there video recording their little area. And at the time I just ignored them, but I noticed that they were standing in the backyard of a building called Barra Dental, and I will have a better shot of that next video. So on the other side of the river, you have churches, what looks like it may be a church office or housing for church officials, and a large mansion with a sign in front of it called Barra Dental, and quite a few houses. So you would wonder why it would be like that on one side of the river, and on the other side of the river it will be left in a state of absolute decay. It doesn't do much for property values or for the town of Hillsborough to leave it in that manner. I returned to this location a year and a half later, and it looked like the abandoned building district was in the exact same shape as it was before. So I think that is a permanent feature to Hillsborough. So later on, I will walk on the main road and look into the buildings that have a view of this abandoned factory district. There are two buckets on the ground. One is marked Navigard R and O, and I looked that up, and it is hydraulic fluid that is used to lubricate machines such as excavators. Okay, at the end of the abandoned building district here is a sign that says no trespassing. It says EPA Brownfields Cleanup Project in Progress. For more information, contact the town of Hillsborough. And they have a number. There is what looks like a rock here that has been painted blue. And close by is a TV set that is missing its electrical cord. Next is a building that looks like it's kept in pretty rough shape. It has 4 bays in front with newer looking metal doors on it. And the bays are the type that you will back a truck to. And there's a sign that says, for additional storage, call a number. So what's kind of unusual about that is that A, there is no name for this storage facility if that is what it really is. And also the storage facility is connected to a apartment house. And this apartment house looks very beat up on this side of the street. But when I go across the street and look across the river, this apartment building looks a lot nicer on the other side. It looks in a lot better shape. So this building looks beat up on the side facing the street that everybody could see. But along the river, the side that is hidden, it looks like it's in a lot better shape. So I find that very unusual, along with its name, which is called the Machine Inn. So I want to focus everybody's attention on this next house next door to the Machine Inn. So I returned to this location and I took some better footage of this house. And to be honest with you, both times it did not catch my eye. That's why it's very important to bring a camera with you and to study all the buildings and everything that you record with your camera, and take notice of places like this. So part of this yellow house looks like it may be an apartment house, but connected to it is this unusual barn or garage. And what it looks like is that somebody has nailed a board over this garage door. This does not look like a garage door. It looks like a large board that's been nailed over the opening to prevent any traffic from going through there. And the same thing with the door on the side. It looks like at some point there were a couple of doors to the right of the garage door. But what it looks like is that someone has nailed a board covering up that door opening. As you can see, there's no steps to get up to that door, and it does not even look like a regular door. It looks as if it's been sealed off and made to appear like it's an opening, when in fact it's nothing but a board that's been nailed in the back of these door frames. And then you can see with the later footage, all the grass is growing up tall around this building. No one has bothered to cut the grass, and someone has wheeled a wheelbarrow in front of that garage door area. So the whole building looks like it's been left that way to suggest an old building that's not in use, that should not attract any attention. So anybody who may investigate an area such as this should be conscious of anything they find that resembles this. This looks like a building that criminals may use to traffic kidnapped victims through and do whatever they want to the victims inside buildings like this after kidnapping them off the street. So this place seems designed to look like the slums, a rundown area that is actually a network of human trafficking buildings. So this is a waterfall area where the Concord River drops down. A bridge has been built over this river, over these waterfalls, called Bridge Street. So I'm walking across the bridge, and there is a levee and a little dam built on one side that directs the water toward that building that I believe is a building for a hydroelectric power generator. And across the river is the Concord apartment building. And if you look up that building on the internet, you'll see that they have quite a few studio apartments and affordable apartment units in that building at around $600 or $700 a month rent. So that will attract anybody to move into the town of Hillsborough, to a nice country setting with cheap housing. And at first glance, Hillsborough looks like it may be an okay place to live, especially for those people that may want to get out of the city, like Concord. Last is this house on the other side of the bridge. And if you notice, there is a red curtain in the window. And if this house is broken up into different apartments, my guess is that room with the red curtains is connected to the front room with the 3 windows. And right next to that, you'll see that the door is barricaded off with what appears to be a bookshelf, like from a bookstore. So it's not enough just to lock that door. They want to barricade it shut for some reason.